Completing school observation before my PGCE course was really useful. It gave me kind of insight into what a classroom is like. They've changed a lot since you've been in classrooms yourself. There's changing assessment, there's changing schemes. So before you even apply, it's good to get an idea of what the job involves and the responsibilities that you'll have.
Completing an observation before I started, I actually worked in a school, so having that experience of seeing teaching firsthand, different teachers, different styles, and being able to really see how the kids work is definitely a valuable experience.
To get the most out of it, you have to get the most out of it. It won't be given to you. But I do think it was a very helpful experience just because, it gives you an insight into how a school works over a longer period of time, not just a day.
Completing my school observation before starting the course was really important for me because it gave me an opportunity to watch a wide variety of teachers operate in different schools in different settings, which is great because primary schools are very intricate places and all seem to be different from one another, so that was very important for me.
I arranged the placement because I was working in a school already as a PE teaching assistant, so I negotiated with the senior leadership to be able to work in a Year 1 classroom where I was helping out with core subjects and their reading.
I arranged my school placement outside of my uni time. I'd already graduated in the May of 2017. My summer was just a normal summer. I got back in London about October after travelling and just went from there. I had part-time work in the evenings, so I used my mornings from there to just do some voluntary hours, and then went on after that, after Christmas, doing the same thing, just working in the evenings or the afternoons, and then in the mornings I'd do voluntary hours.
So I was able to arrange one of my weeks in a different key stage from the class I was currently working in, and then my second week of it I was able to go to a different school and watch a number of different teachers working on the different policies and kind of directives and stuff.
So during my observation I'd get involved with things such as, with all due respect to TAs, I'd shadow TAs and I'd basically just do their job as well with them. So I'd use their experience and their guidance to help them as well as to help the teacher. Move around classes, checking people are on task, taking groups out for reading, having a look at or having an insight into how planning works before school, setting up before school, and general outside of class activities as well, because if you're an extra person in a school, it really helps them to have someone to take a group outside if they're struggling or if they're exceeding.
I got a good idea of the curriculum that is taught in primary schools, and also behaviour management, and also the ethos of the school.
Having a core reading group as well, so it was set up that every Tuesday I'll be with Year 3 and do reading with them, and then have a maths group with Year 6, helping them with their SATs coming up. So that was a good experience that way.
In my observation experience, I was able to see how the children worked kind of within the classroom setting, how they were divided into groups, whether I was working with some mixed ability or the same ability in a group, and also being able to see how they interact and how they implement different strategies in the classroom for learning.
It is definitely worth doing school experience before you start your course, because when I started on the course and you're starting to talk about theory, the most meaningful way to learn about that is to have context and to have points of reference, which completing an experience beforehand offers you. And then when you're out on placement, less things are unfamiliar to you. You kind of have that edge because you're familiar to a classroom environment.
Absolutely, I definitely would recommend it. Anyone getting some school observation experience before they start their course. I really enjoyed mine. It was a really nice experience for me, and it was really insightful for me to watch lots of different teachers work and experience what it might be like for me as a teacher when I start my course in September. So it was great for me. I'd definitely recommend it.
To complete an observation experience before the course is definitely recommended. It lets you see what you're going to be doing firsthand and allows you to make that decision of whether you think it's the right role for you.
I think if I went into my placement without the experience, it would have been a bit of a shock. Especially the school I'm at in particular is a big school. It's quite different to any normal school you'd see. It's got a 7th form. So if I was kind of thrown in there having not been in a school before, I would have been kind of kicked in the face a little bit, and it would have taken a while to adapt and get used to it, I think, but because I'd already been set in a school environment beforehand, it made the transition a bit smoother.